Alright, all you listeners of the madness, and I guess a couple of you wrestling fans who are up still tonight amongst the madness, welcome back to Under the Radar. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this weekend's pay-per-view, only known as Backlash, from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And apparently, according to the maestro in the area that night, there were alligators. Really? Alligators? In Florida? Never knew that. And Maestro apparently said stop being sarcastic, so with that being said, folks, I think it's time for us to go into the first match of the night, a part of the pre-show, which was none other than Apollo Crews going one-on-one against Andrade Cien Almas. And during this match, almost like I told you so on Music Village, apparently during this match, action was going back and forth until Angel Garza tried to hit the scene to try to distract Apollo Crews during this match, only to distract Andrade, for Andrade to get caught with a Crews missile powerbomb from out of nowhere, for Apollo Crews to win this match with help from Kevin Owens and a KO stunner to Angel Garza on the outside of the ring via pinfall. We almost forgot to mention that the Frankenstein monster was in the house that night too, wearing a tie reminding me of something out of Drew Carey. Wait a minute, does Drew Carey even wear ties like that? Well, according to the maestro, he does. Nice. And the first match to take place, officially a part of Backlash, would be none other than the Triple Threat Women's match, which would see the Iconics and the Boston Hug Connection going one-on-one against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And during this match that was filled with roll-up pinfalls galore, including a couple from not only Sasha Banks and Bayley, but also from the Iconics as well, would see Nikki Cross trying to do a bulldog clothesline combination, only to get kicked in the face by none other than Billie Kay. Originally, I thought it was Peyton Royce, but since they're so attached at the hip, I got them confused. But either way, still led to a near fall. Then you would see Nikki Cross trying to gain control during this match, only to get cross-bodied on the outside of the ring by Peyton Royce during this said contest, leading to a spill to the outside of the ring. But ultimately, this match would come to an end that again after a very impressive tag team move from both Nikki Cross and from Alexa Bliss in the form of a, I guess, 3D STO combination or 3D flatliner combination that I'm gonna call the Bliss Liner. That would lead eventually into the Twisted Bliss, only from out of nowhere, Sasha Banks to come from out of nowhere and pin Alexa Bliss once again, still retaining their tag team championships via pinfall. So once again, with the Kurt Angle / Edge tactics, the champions still retain. Absolutely insane, and not to mention a very good effort put across by none other than Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. But a little bit of bad news for the tag team champions. They're gonna have to head on over to NXT to defend against none other than Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart this Wednesday, which we will be reporting on. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy week, folks. And speaking of people who's had a busy week, the next match to take place on the card would see none other than Jeff Hardy going one-on-one against the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And during this match, action would go back and forth, but would really go in the favor of Sheamus immediately after Sheamus decided to do an inverted suplex, which we like to call, since our current N64 days, the career ender suplex right into the knee of Jeff Hardy from the turnbuckle post, which would leave him with a bad wheel and a bad back, because Sheamus would take advantage of it by not only doing two versions of his Irish Curse backbreaker for near fall, but would eventually lead into the white noise and then the 10 beats of the Bowery, only for Sheamus to be frustrated about the fact that Jeff Hardy would not go down. I wonder where he got that from. Could it have been from his brother? Chances are yes. But during this match, Jeff Hardy would come back by not only hitting a twist of fate, but a swanton bomb for a near fall. But ultimately, his high risk would come back to haunt him in the form of a bro kick out of mid-air on the outside of the ring by Sheamus, only for Sheamus to bring him back inside the ring, finish him off with a second bro kick, for Sheamus to win this match and to disappoint the Hardy Party-like fans, or the creatures of the night as he called them in TNA, via pinfall. And I got a feeling this is not over by a long shot, and it may lead to a match at Extreme Rules. Quote me on that. And speaking of things that are not over by a long shot, folks, the next match to take place on this said card would see Asuka going one-on-one against Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. And during this match, Asuka would try to use her submission prowess to try to take out the irresistible force, only for Nia Jax to resist every single submission that she tried to apply, including the Black Widow aka Octopus stretch that would lead into a toss-off. Then you would see her try to do the guillotine that would lead to a stalling suplex, only for Asuka to switch up her strategy and try to go for a roundhouse kick that would lead to, and I kid you not when I say this, folks, a disgusting sit-out powerbomb in the center of the ring for a near fall. But ultimately, this match would come to an end that again when both women would take it right to the outside of the ring with not only a clothesline and an armbar on the outside of the ring, all while the referee was counting away for the referee to reach a count of 10 before both competitors could reach inside the ring, only for Asuka to retain her championship due to the champion's advantage rule via countout. Only for Asuka to say, nope, that's not good enough for me, run back outside the ring, hit the tacker out of the sky, and then decided to kick her in the face one more good time to say, now I won. And yeah, once again, this is another one of those matches that are going to be taken to the extreme next month. And the next match, speaking of things being taken to the extreme, would see none other than the quilted quicker picker-upper Braun Strowman going 2-on-1 against The Miz and Morrison for the Universal Studios of Orlando, Florida's championship. And during this match, my God, even before the bell rang, Miz and Morrison will release a music video for Braun Strowman saying that he's been wetting the bed since he was 6 years old, that he smells like cheese, and the music video sort of reminded me of something that Billy Ocean would have done. No offense, Billy Ocean, but seriously, this has 1980s written all over it. But the video be interrupted with a little bit of a pass-through by the Strowman Express. By the way, very cool Titantron, because I'm a big fan of trains. Would see him actually trying to run them over during this match, only for Miz and Morrison to have a plan with quick tag-outs, double team moves, and Morrison during this match using his hardcore parkour skills to the max by not only doing leaping enziguris off the rope, reminding me of his Eminem days, but then would try to go for a corkscrew plancha to the outside of the ring to take the big man off his feet. And ultimately, the most important part, and I got a feeling the part where Miz and Morrison went wrong during this match, is after the double DDT that led to a near fall, but then when they try to do the skull-crushing Shining Wizard combination where Miz, or should I say Morrison, tried to pin, it would lead to Miz actually pulling him off, trying to get the pinfall for himself. Because we almost forgot to mention, the winner of this match will be the sole Universal Champion when it's all over. But unfortunately, their greed would get the better of them, because once Morrison would try to go for the pin again, Braun Strowman would get back up on his feet, Beal throw them from post to post, and then finally finish off the Speed Freak in the form of John Morrison with a running power slam for Braun Strowman to retain the Universal Studios of Orlando, Florida's championship via pinfall. So it proves that their egos could not stop them from trying to get the championship off the waist of Braun Strowman. And it also makes me wonder, what's next for the Quilted Quicker Picker-Upper? Who knows? But before we try to figure that out, folks, I think it's time for us to head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with more of what happened during this pay-per-view known as Backlash from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, as Under the Radar rolls on right after this. So don't touch that dial just yet, folks, and stay tuned.